Hey there, it's Aubrey. I'm coming to you from, I don't know, 9,600 feet, something like that. And you can see some of the background behind me there. And I had this hike today, and it was kind of a metaphor for my life and I think life in general. And I just wanted to share it with you all. Um, I was had some of my brain injury symptoms yesterday, really bad, and I didn't sleep well last night. And I wanted to go on this hike today, and I wanted to hit this peak that's still a little bit ahead. But I was really tired. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, could fall back asleep, and I didn't feel like going today. But I said, well, I'm going to go anyway and see what I can do. And so I started and took a lot of rests and, climbing around the mountain. I started thinking, looking at where I wanted to go, that comparison is I'm not there. I'm not going to get there, and I'm not going to get there today. And I know that. But a lot of times we forget where we've been. And if I turn the camera around, I don't know how to turn the camera around, so I guess I'll just do it that way, right? That's where I was, and that's, if we look down there and we say, hey, like that's where I started, I'm doing pretty good. But if I'm only paying attention to, where it is that I'm not, everything ahead, right? Then I'm not good enough because I didn't get there. Or I have to stop. And then I started thinking about it. There's some people that didn't make it this high. They turned around and went back down, right? So I'm more ahead of them. And there's some people that flew by me, and I'm behind them. But the thing is that the people that made it today, have things that I don't. And sometimes we have to deal with that. So if I have symptoms, that's one thing, right? But we can learn from them, but not compare ourselves to them. That could be the aim, right? To have that, to be that, to get that. Well, what is it that they do to get there? And then I can look at that. But I want to also look at where I came from. Because if I'm only looking at what I didn't do and where I didn't go, then it's depressing. Because I came a long way, 2,200 feet. Up 4 miles, I think. So still a pretty darn good hike. And along the way, it was interesting because I'm backpacking. So I have about a 35-pound backpack on. And there was a younger guy, good shape, running the trail with just a little hydration pack on. And with the rains recently, there was a part of the trail that had a tree over it and it was really steep. It kind of washed away. And I started thinking about obstacles in our lives, right? And that obstacle was easier for him to get over than it was for me. And isn't that interesting? So, when I think about that in life, right, it was easier for him. Now, it was the same path. It was the same obstacle. It was the same day. But I was carrying a different load, right? I had a pack on. I have, I'm not as in good a shape as that person was. I had my own circumstances that made that obstacle a little bit more challenging than him. And so we don't want to look at the obstacle and say, oh, well, so-and-so did it. And in the same sense, we don't want to do that to anybody else, right? Well, this is the way that I did it. Because we're all carrying our own load. And my load was a little bit heavier. And my situation a little bit different. But I still navigated it because the path that I wanted to go on was still ahead of me, even though there was an obstacle on it, right? And that's kind of a metaphor for life too, because sometimes we see obstacles when we want to stop, but the path is still on the other side of it. We just have to say, okay, well, challenge accepted. We're going to get through this. But again, don't compare, right? Your load might be different. It's going to take you something different to get over that obstacle. So even though the obstacle is the exact same, the day was the exact same, the trail was the exact same, the temperature was the exact same, everything about the obstacle and the surroundingness was the same, it was still different because the load I was carrying was different than the load he was carrying. And my level of fitness was not the same as his. So things that he put into work before he got to that obstacle, I didn't, right? But I still got over it. And I think that's a really good idea. Now, the last thing that I kind of came up with was that I'm tired. I'm tired right now. And I want to hit that other peak. I really do. I'm close. I'm so close. But I'm not going to make it today because I still have to go back down. And I'm tired. And I've got my little hammock, my camping hammock. And I was probably going to, go up here and take a rest. And I was thinking about this, on the way to our goals, we might see somebody just fly up and get it. But it might be a little bit longer for us. So don't be afraid to rest. You can camp out. I could camp out here, right? But I'm not going to build my home here because here isn't where I want to be. I can rest here, but I want to be somewhere else, right? So that's where I'll build my home. So it's just kind of an interesting metaphor, right? In your life, we want to have our challenges. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes they're heavy and sometimes they're hard and sometimes it's going to take us a little more time. And we might have to rest. We might have to camp out. But don't build your home there if it's not where you want to be. Keep going. And that was literally how I got this far today. Because let me tell you something. At about 800 feet, I wanted to quit today. I really did. And I'm at 2,200 feet of elevation. My overall elevation is like 9,800 feet. So, one step at a time, one step. I was tired of just don't quit, Aubrey. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Get to the point where you got to rest. I took lots of breaks, right? There were obstacles in my way. And, I can go back to the drawing board and start over and do the things that I know I need to do to get better, to get to that goal, right? Being in a little bit better shape. So I can learn from the people that did it easily or with less effort, find out what they do, and then repeat that and see how it works for me. But it still might not be exact, right? So I think we have to, the moral of all this story is you have to look at how far you've come. And again, I don't know why I can't turn the camera around, but I'll just kind of show you that I started way down there, all right? And I hope you could see that. And now I'm way up here, which is the views are spectacular. But anyway, and if I only looked at where I didn't go, which is the next peak, I'd be upset. But we have to take the time to look back and how far we've come and how far I came with the load I'm carrying, right? Because I still made it. And you know what? Even with my load, I made it quicker than some people, which is pretty cool. But same day, same path, same obstacles. We all respond to it differently. We're all carrying a different load. So don't give up. Your path is still on the other side of that obstacle. Take a rest. Camp out if you need to for a little bit. Just don't make your home there. We don't want you to stay there, right? Just don't make your home there and keep going. And then find out with your aim, the people that did do what you want to do, and find out how they did it and learn from them. And then go back and start that process. And then start that trail again. Start that path again. And yep, you're going to have some obstacles because that obstacle is going to be there next time I come up on this path. But hopefully I'll clear it a little easier this time. And I'll go a little farther this time until finally I get to my goal. And that's really what it's all about. So a lot of awesome thoughts on my hike today. Lots of awesome views on my hike today. It's at about 68 degrees. Which is great because in Las Vegas Valley right now it's like 104. So I'm doing a lot better, and I don't know. I'm doing pretty good with these views up here. It is quite awesome. It's a nice little peak that I found, and maybe next week I hit the peak that I want to. We'll see. And if not, I'll just try to get a little farther than I did today. But with that being said, I got to get back down. So I sometimes it's like, all right, I'm just going to keep pushing myself. And I sometimes forget that I have to get back down. It's I wish there was a slide, like a big water slide that just takes me down to the bottom. But I'll get there, and I know you'll get there too. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And just keep going. Just keep going. You're going to want to quit. I know. I get it. I'm that way a lot with my health issues and my symptoms. There's just sometimes I just can't. I can't today. I can't. And then I just take one step. And then one more. And again, rest when you need to. Camp when you need to. Just don't build a house if it's not where you want to be. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. I should probably start a cool series like Wisdom at whatever 100 feet. That'd be kind of fun. Done a couple of these last year. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.